The Dallas Cowboys have entered a critical stretch of the 2025 regular season, with urgency shaping every roster decision. With only 3 games remaining, the margin for error has essentially disappeared. Every practice rep, evaluation, and medical clearance now carries postseason implications. Against this backdrop, the Cowboys took a notable step on December 17th. The organization officially opened the 21-day practice window for 3 players on injured reserve. It is a move that signals opportunity, caution, and calculated hope all at once. Running back Phil Mafah, defensive end Payton Turner, and cornerback Josh Butler were all cleared to return to practice. None of the 3 has seen the field during the 2025 regular season. Yet each carries a different storyline, a different timeline, and a different potential role. Their return to the practice field does not guarantee activation. It does, however, give the Cowboys a chance to evaluate depth at key positions. In December football, even depth can change outcomes. The timing is no coincidence. Dallas is preparing for a looming matchup against the Los Angeles Chargers. Health has been a recurring obstacle throughout the season. The coaching staff has consistently emphasized competition and availability. Opening these windows aligns with that philosophy. It also places pressure on decision-makers as the clock begins to tick. Once the 21-day window is opened, the team must act. Each player must either be activated to the 53-man roster or returned to injured reserve. There is no middle ground. For the Cowboys, that means difficult evaluations under tight deadlines. For the players, it means proving readiness quickly. December rarely offers patience. Head coach Brian Schottenheimer framed the move simply. "It's just a chance to get them on the grass and see the guys compete," he said. Those words reflect a balance between optimism and restraint. The Cowboys are not promising returns. They are offering opportunity. In the NFL, that alone is significant. The meaning of the practice window. The NFL's injured reserve rules are designed to protect both teams and players. Opening a 21-day practice window does not guarantee game action. It merely allows a player to return to practice without immediate activation. During that window, coaches evaluate conditioning, explosiveness, and durability. Medical staff monitor setbacks and recovery response. Roster decisions follow based on evidence, not sentiment. For Dallas, this process comes at a sensitive time. Every roster spot is valuable, with postseason scenarios still mathematically alive. Activating a player requires removing someone else. That reality forces tough choices at multiple positions. The Cowboys must weigh upside against reliability. December football rewards dependability. The practice window also reflects internal confidence. Players are not cleared to practice unless they meet strict medical thresholds. In that sense, Mafah, Turner, and Butler have already cleared one hurdle. Their bodies have responded positively to rehabilitation. That alone marks progress after months away from football activity. Still, practice intensity is a different test entirely. For players who have not logged a single snap all season, timing is critical. Football conditioning cannot be simulated fully in rehab settings. Pads, contact, and tempo expose truths quickly. Coaches will be watching closely. Every drill becomes an audition. Every rep is under evaluation. The Cowboys have been conservative with injuries throughout the year. That philosophy appears unchanged here. Schottenheimer emphasized excitement, not expectations. The team is choosing patience over urgency. It is a calculated approach, one shaped by lessons learned earlier in the season. Ultimately, the 21-day window is about optionality. It gives Dallas flexibility at a crucial moment. It gives players a path back to relevance. But it also imposes a deadline that cannot be ignored. Soon, choices must be made. And those choices could impact how the season ends. Josh Butler's long road back. Of the 3 players, Josh Butler's journey stands apart. The young cornerback suffered a devastating knee injury in late November 2024. At the time, his story was still unfolding. Few expected him to become one of the feel-good narratives of the season. Yet Butler had forced his way into the conversation. And then everything stopped. Just days before the injury, Butler delivered a breakout performance. Against the Washington Commanders, he flashed confidence and playmaking ability. It was the type of game that changes careers. 4 days later, against the New York Giants, disaster struck. The knee injury ended his season instantly. Rehabilitation became his full-time job. Recovery from such an injury is rarely linear. Butler spent nearly a full calendar year working back. Setbacks, plateaus, and mental hurdles are common in these processes. By his own admission, the weight tested his patience. Still, he maintained confidence in his recovery. Confidence alone, however, was not enough. Earlier in the season, Butler expressed readiness to return. The Cowboys chose caution. Rather than rush him, they prioritized long-term health. That decision reflected organizational discipline. It also delayed Butler's chance to prove himself again. Now, that opportunity finally arrives. Cornerback remains one of the most physically demanding positions in football. Change of direction, recovery speed, and confidence in the knee are essential. Practice will reveal whether Butler has regained those traits. Coaches will watch his movement closely. Every backpedal matters. Every break on the ball tells a story. For Butler, this window is about validation. It is not simply about returning. It is about confirming that the injury no longer defines him. If he shows well, he could re-enter the defensive conversation. If not, the Cowboys may opt for patience again. Either way, the next few weeks are pivotal. Payton Turner's 2025 season has existed mostly in theory. Signed as a free agent in March, he arrived with expectations of depth and disruption. The Cowboys envisioned him as a rotational piece along the defensive line. His experience and physical traits were appealing. Training camp was meant to be his proving ground. Instead, injury intervened. In August, Turner suffered a rib injury that sent him to injured reserve. Rib injuries can be deceptive. They limit strength, breathing, and explosiveness. For a defensive end, those limitations are significant. The injury lingered longer than anticipated. Turner never appeared in a regular season game. Being sidelined for an entire season without playing a snap is challenging. For veterans, momentum matters. Turner spent months away from meaningful competition. Film study replaced game reps. Conditioning became a solitary pursuit. Now he must reacclimate quickly. The Cowboys' defensive front has faced inconsistency this season. Injuries and rotation changes have tested depth. Turner's return to practice provides another option. But questions remain about timing. Can he ramp up fast enough? Can he contribute meaningfully before the season ends? Defensive line play is built on rhythm and reaction. Without live reps, rust becomes a concern. Practice will reveal how Turner responds to contact. Coaches will assess pad level, hand usage, and burst. Each element matters. There is little margin for error. For Turner, this window is a race against time. He must show readiness before the deadline expires. The Cowboys must decide whether upside outweighs uncertainty. It is a difficult calculation, one that reflects the unforgiving nature of the NFL. Opportunities do not wait. Phil Mafah and a missed opportunity. Phil Mafah's rookie season has been defined by what could have been. Selected in the 7th round of April's draft, he entered camp with little fanfare. Yet his performance quickly changed perceptions. Mafah showed vision, patience, and physicality during training camp. Preseason reps only strengthened his case. Momentum was building. Then came August. A shoulder injury halted his progress. The injury sent Mafah to injured reserve before the season began. For a rookie, timing could not have been worse. Opportunities are scarce late in the draft. Injuries magnify that reality. Throughout the fall, Mafah worked quietly. Rehabilitation replaced competition. Playbooks replaced play calls. He watched from the sidelines as the season unfolded. Now, with the practice window open, he gets another chance. A late one, but meaningful nonetheless. The Cowboys' backfield has endured fluctuations. Injuries and workload management have been constant themes. Adding a fresh body could offer flexibility. Mafah's running style fits physical December football. But readiness remains the key question. Rookies must earn trust quickly. Running back is a position that demands confidence and decisiveness. There is little time to hesitate. Practice will test Mafah's shoulder strength and ball security. Coaches will evaluate pass protection as closely as rushing ability. Every detail counts, especially for a rookie seeking his first NFL snaps. For Mafah, the window is about relevance. It is about reminding the organization why they drafted him. A strong showing could reshape his standing moving forward. A quiet window could push his opportunity into 2026. The stakes are real. Time is limited. Coaching philosophy and caution. Brian Schottenheimer's comments reflect a measured approach. The Cowboys are not chasing quick fixes. They are evaluating, not gambling. That chance to get them on the grass carries weight. Practice is the truth serum of the NFL. It exposes readiness immediately. Throughout the season, Dallas has leaned toward caution with injuries. Rushing players back has rarely paid dividends league-wide. The Cowboys appear committed to avoiding that trap. Opening the window does not imply urgency. It implies curiosity and disciplined evaluation. Schottenheimer's emphasis on competition remains consistent. Every player must earn their role. Reputation alone is insufficient. That philosophy applies even to those returning from injury. The practice field is the equalizer. Performance determines outcome. This approach also protects the locker room dynamic. Activating players who are not fully ready risks cohesion. It can undermine trust among teammates. Dallas has prioritized stability. That principle will guide decisions here as well. Short-term gain must not create long-term issues. The Cowboys' coaching staff faces complex choices. Each position group has its own needs. Activating one player affects another. Depth charts are interconnected. Decisions cannot be isolated. Everything ripples. Ultimately, the Cowboys' patience reflects confidence in their process. They are not desperate. They are deliberate. Whether that approach yields results remains to be seen. But the method is clear, and December will test it. Activating a player from injured reserve is never simple. The Cowboys must create space on the 53-man roster. That often means releasing or deactivating another player. Those decisions carry consequences, both immediate and future-facing. Every move is scrutinized. The timing of the season compounds the challenge. With playoff scenarios still mathematically possible, depth matters. Special teams roles become critical. Practice performance must translate quickly. There is no luxury of long-term development. Only immediate contribution counts. Josh Butler's potential activation would impact the secondary. Competition at cornerback is intense. Trust and chemistry are vital. A returning player must integrate seamlessly. Mistakes in coverage are costly. The margin is razor-thin. Payton Turner's case affects the defensive line rotation. Snap distribution is already carefully managed. Adding a player requires clarity of role. Situational usage must be defined. Uncertainty breeds inefficiency. The staff will not gamble blindly. Phil Mafah's activation would influence the backfield dynamic. Touches are finite. Roles are established. A rookie must carve a niche quickly. Special teams could be his entry point. Every avenue matters. These decisions will be made soon. The 21-day clock does not pause. The Cowboys must weigh health, performance, and necessity. Emotion cannot lead. Evidence must. That is the NFL reality. The Chargers' matchup looms. The immediate context cannot be ignored. Dallas is preparing to face the Los Angeles Chargers. The matchup carries weight beyond the standings. It is a test of resilience and execution. Roster availability will matter. Every edge counts. Whether any of the three returnees factor into that game remains unclear. Practice participation does not equal game readiness. The Cowboys will not force timelines. Still, the possibility exists. Even limited roles can influence outcomes. Football games often hinge on small moments. The Chargers present physical challenges. Depth along the line and in the secondary is valuable. If Turner or Butler show readiness, their presence could matter. Mafah's physical running style could also be situationally useful. But speculation must yield to evaluation. Practice will decide. The Cowboys' coaching staff will monitor recovery response closely. How players feel after consecutive practices matters. Swelling, soreness, and fatigue are indicators. There is little room for risk. December injuries can linger. Caution remains paramount. Game planning will continue regardless. The Cowboys will prepare as if none are activated. That approach avoids dependency. Any contribution would be a bonus, not a requirement. Preparation demands certainty. As kickoff approaches, decisions will crystallize. The window creates possibility, not obligation. Dallas controls the timeline, and the Chargers await regardless. Execution remains the priority. Roster moves are secondary. Individual stakes and career moments. For the players involved, this window represents more than roster mechanics. It represents personal crossroads. Josh Butler seeks closure and continuation. Payton Turner seeks relevance. Phil Mafah seeks a beginning. Each story carries weight. NFL careers are fragile. Injuries interrupt momentum quickly. Opportunities vanish just as fast. Returning to practice restores visibility. It reopens conversations. It revives possibilities. For Butler, this moment tests his recovery journey. Confidence in the knee is psychological as much as physical. Practice reps rebuild trust. Coaches need to see it. He needs to feel it. That alignment matters. Turner's challenge is different. He must show he can still impact games after a lost season. Age and availability are always evaluated. This window could reshape perceptions or reinforce doubts. The stakes are real. Mafah's opportunity is about first impressions. Late-round rookies live on the margins. Every rep is evaluated harshly. He must show readiness beyond potential. Projection is no longer enough. Production is required. These moments define careers quietly, not in stadium lights, but on practice fields. Decisions are made without fanfare, but their consequences endure. For players, this window matters deeply. It may shape what comes next. As the 21-day window progresses, clarity will emerge. Practice performance will answer questions quickly. The Cowboys will not wait unnecessarily. Decisions will be made before the clock expires. That is unavoidable. Time dictates action. Whether all, some, or none are activated remains uncertain. Each case will be evaluated independently. Health, readiness, and team need will guide outcomes. The Cowboys have no obligation to rush. They have every reason to be precise. Precision wins in December. The regular season finale against the Giants looms. Its scheduling remains undetermined, but the deadline will arrive regardless. Dallas must act before opportunity disappears entirely. There is no extension, no second chance. This moment encapsulates the NFL's harsh reality. Talent alone is insufficient. Availability matters. Timing matters. Preparation matters. Opportunity must meet readiness. Otherwise, it passes. For the Cowboys, the focus remains steady. Evaluate honestly. Protect players. Compete relentlessly. The practice window is simply a tool. How they use it will define its value. As December unfolds, these quiet decisions will shape the roster. And in the NFL, rosters shape seasons. Every choice echoes forward. The Cowboys understand that reality well. Now, they must act within it.